All right, we are live. Welcome to another episode of the Smash Time Podcast. This is just something I like to do to goof around, hang out with some cool two-way people, and just have a good time. So tonight's show, we have one of my favorite YouTubers. And you know, it's funny. I came across her by accident and I kind of dismissed her at first, like, oh, just another girl that does YouTube, big deal. And then you start watching her videos and you're super impressed. You're like, she actually knows what she's talking about. And you can follow along on her journey from when she first started to where she's at now. She's like a full on trainer. So that's pretty amazing because she's done things I can guarantee the majority of people that I know in the gun industry have never even done. So without further ado, let's bring on AmericanGunChic.
Woo, what's up? How's
What's
it going?
up?
How are you doing?
It's going, man. It was going. A long day at work. You know how it is. Got the grind.
That's right. Got to stay busy.
First, I want to thank you for coming on the show. I really appreciate it. Let me put my hat on. I didn't shave my head today, so I feel a little weird.
My roots are kind of grown out, so they're blending into the background, so I look crazy too, but whatever.
I know. Pretty. Oh, see, that looks stupid. I just look like Howdy Doody with the hat now. That's not a good look. It's not a good look. So introduce yourself to the audience. I think we got a couple people in the chat already. Yeah, 16 in the first minute. That's like a record for me.
Oh yeah, well I told people to come over here too, so maybe it might be some my people over here, but who knows?
That's awesome. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no problem. Yeah, so what's up, guys? My name is Raquel. I'm known as AmericanGunChic, and oh, sorry, Joe was just playing something loud. So I have a YouTube channel called AmericanGunChic, and it shows me starting from scratch. I started, I want to say five and a half years ago, and you know, you can go watch a video of my first time shooting ever, to where I was just shooting, having fun, just not really knowing what I'm doing, but just having fun. And then I had instructors reach out to me and give me some real proper good training, all tactical training, really. So I did a lot of tactical classes. I've done CQB classes, room clearing classes, all kinds of stuff, medical, this and that, all kinds of stuff. Done a few competitions here and there, but nothing serious with that. I didn't take that serious.
So are you from Texas originally?
No, I'm kind of from all over the place. Like I grew up in Colorado, but I lived in Florida for a while, and now I live here in Texas. But I've traveled all over the place and been on the road a lot and stuff. So
nice. How long have you been in Texas?
Like it's getting close to like 2 years.
That's it? So you're new to Texas?
Well, not really, because I've been to Texas. Like I've been to this area a lot before, so I already knew the area and had friends out here and all kinds of stuff. So
oh, nice. Because a lot of people when they first moved here, I know when I first moved here, I didn't really like it too much. It was hot.
Really?
Yeah, it was hot. It was brutal. I remember I got off. My daughter lives here with her mother, so I moved here to get closer to her. And I remember I was in the Hobby Airport, and I got out of the airport the first time in Houston. There was a giant bus in front of me with just fumes. I'm like, God, this exhaust is so hot, and it stunk.
Yeah.
The bus left, and it was still hot, and it still stank. I was like, oh no, what am I doing? I came in August. It was brutal.
Yeah. It is hot here. Like that's one thing I'm kind of like, man, I don't like about here is it's super, super freaking hot. Like we were just up in Kentucky, and it's nice there because when the sun kind of goes down, it gets a little cool and it feels kind of nice. But here you feel like you just want to be in the pool constantly and stick your head in the refrigerator. It's just so hot here.
It is so hot. It's hard to get used to. I mean, my first 2 years was brutal. I didn't like it. I've been here 12 years now, so I consider myself a born-again Texan. I'm all right.
Yeah.
Let's check the chat. I'm Hung So Low, A-Dubs, Jeffrey Light, Mike McClune, B-Noise, Casper's Crib. Look at all these guys in the chat, man. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it. If you're not a subscriber, please consider subscribing. And if you're not a subscriber to AmericanGunChic, where have you been? I just put her link in the chat. Come on. Her channel is so underrated. I don't know why you don't have 180,000 subscribers instead of 80.
I'll tell you why. It's YouTube's evil ways. We caught them we recorded this. We actually caught them just sitting there and deleting subscribers one after another. Like, we literally saw them doing it. Like, it's crazy. They'll delete subscribers, they unsubscribe people, and they turn their bells off and hide stuff, and because they don't want people to be seeing that guns can be useful. You know
what's funny? The last couple weeks, I don't really pay attention to subscriber count or any of that stuff. I just do this kind of for kicks. But I was at like something 600, and I was like, oh man, cool, 600, awesome. And then the next day I lost like 80 subscribers. I'm like, what the heck, man? 80 and one? Yeah. That's a lot. And I didn't post any videos, so I didn't know if anybody was like, this guy sucks, I'm out. But it was weird.
No, I think it's YouTube. They crack down on people that are doing anything. It's just going to get worse, I feel like. It's just, that's just what they do.
100%. I don't know if you met Mr. Big Kid, but he just did a video on the new regulations and how he thinks they're going to really kind of tighten up, and it's going to get rough. It's going to get rough. So 2 years in Texas, were you always raised with guns?
No, not really, actually. Like, my dad had some guns. He had like shotguns, and I can't even really remember what he had. Maybe a couple pistols or something, but nothing crazy. He kept them in the closet.
Right.
They would never take me shooting, never told me anything. And I wouldn't go in his closet and look at his guns or anything. I just didn't do that, So no, I didn't really grow up around guns or going shooting or anything like that. But I just randomly was like, and then when I first shot like my first couple guns for the first time, I was scared. Like, I was super nervous. You know how you're like flinching when you shoot, and like the typical.
Still do that. I still flinch when I shoot.
Yeah, well, I mean, you got to keep shooting, and then it kind of just goes away over time, But I just kind of started out of nowhere, and I fell in love with the fact that I got over that fear, and then we just kept uploading videos and just having fun, and it just it was like this mountain. It just kept going up and up with like different stuff, and then I got training. I never thought that I would get all this training. I've had like tons of crazy training over the years. And then to the point where now I'm teaching classes, and I'm teaching, and I'm changing these women, and I'm making it to where these women actually go home and they're not only comfortable and confident with a firearm to even carry a firearm, but they have the skills to go with it and everything too. And so their husbands are ecstatic, except for when they become better than their husbands, and their husbands.
Oh, I live with that. My wife is a much better shot than me. Finesse in here says girl power. You're right, girl power. So the first time you went shooting in that video, you could tell you were real nervous, and we've all been there. And even in that video, you say, "Hey, I'm brand new. I'm brand new. I'm just learning." And then you can see like how you progress over those months. And then you've done some pretty, I think, hilarious videos. The Elmo one was, meh.
That was all right. A weird one. That was when we first started the channel.
I know, but it's still funny. I still chuckled at it. I was like, I'm not showing it to my kids, but it was funny. And then like you went to the NRA museum, which I thought was really cool. And for me, watching you go through there, it was like a kid on a field trip.
Yeah. Yeah.
You were just like on a field trip. Where is the NRA museum anyway?
That was in, I want to say DC or Virginia, basically. It's the NRA headquarters, and it was cool. I mean, they had a lot of cool stuff in there and everything. But yeah, those videos are like my you saw some of my like way older videos.
I watched all of them.
Yeah. I like to go back now and watch some of those earlier videos, and I look at some of them and I'm just like, what in the heck was I talking about? And like, you can see how much growth I've gone through over that.
Right.
And I think
so when you start on your videos, you do video. The gun show one was cool because I was like that my first gun show. Because I had California gun show, so I didn't even have like cool guns to look at. I was looking at the cool beef jerky, the cool airing tables. In California, you don't really get to see anything cool. My first one in Texas, I was zigzagging so bad, touching all these guns, these AR-15s. Oh man, they're just amazing. My wife actually won't go with me anymore because I was driving her nuts. I wouldn't go in a straight line. I was like, oh, look at that. Oh, look at that. So I really could relate to that video. So you do those, and then boom, James Yeager out of nowhere. What are you doing up there at was it Tactical Response?
Yep, Tactical Response. Yeah. So I think it was my 380 video that I uploaded where I'm shooting a little 380, and this is before training, so obviously I didn't know what I was talking about and I didn't know what I was doing. And I'm reviewing this gun, and it's not good, because I don't have any fundamentals down or any knowledge of it or anything. And I got a lot of hate in that video where that video got a lot of views and a lot of comments of just like, you're an idiot and don't stay out of the gun range and all this stuff. But so James contacts me and he's like, hey, I'm going to put you in some classes, because if you're going to be, uploading these videos and showing people all this stuff, let's get you trained and educated and all this stuff, which is smart.
Oh, he reached out to you.
Yeah.
See,
and
James was on my bad list because he was talking all that smack about 1911s, and I love 1911s. And he was like, 1911s suck. They're horrible guns. And I was like, you're breaking my heart, man.
Yeah, I mean, he's very graphic about everything he says, and he's he's very like out there with all his opinions and all that stuff. But he usually does have a reason behind everything. But sometimes you can't always get that reason out, because he'll just be like, because I said so. Now shut up, But
right.
I mean, he's a lot of people do love 1911, so he got a lot of people got mad at him for that. But he's a great trainer, and his program is one of the best. Like, the way they set it up is just so good with the whole fight assess, scan, off, and all that stuff. But yeah, I was super excited because I went out there and I did medical, I did force on force, and I did, It was like 9 years of training, and I did all this. I didn't even own a gun. I had to borrow their Canic TP9. So,
well, what I liked about that video is, you went in and you're like, okay, today we're going to do force on force. You admitted I have no idea what I'm doing. And you're like, after many failures, you were totally like genuine and honest. And I don't know where you get all this hate from. But there's a lot of people that drink haterade. And I'm like, you've never been out there. You've never boasted anything about how awesome and how badass you are, any of that. And you just get all this crazy hate. It's nuts to me. I don't get it. So out of that class, what did you think you learned the most? I mean, did those guys accept you right away? Because, you could see as you're signing in, like there's a lot of dudes there, and I didn't see too many girls. So did they dismiss you off the bat?
No, everyone there was really nice. The instructors were super nice, and they treated me like I was just a normal other person that was there to take classes, and nobody was weird or nothing. I think a lot of times girls get this idea in their head that they're going to look at you all weird because you're a girl in the class, but I don't know. I've never been treated different being a girl in any classes, to be honest. Like, it's just normal to me now. But no, everyone was really cool. Everyone was really nice. It was awesome. Yeah, we did a lot of training, and we went over, it was all tactical stuff. I did fighting pistol, and then I did advanced fighting pistol, which advanced fighting pistol was intense. And again, with that one, I think there might've been another girl there for like half the day or something, but I was the only girl there. And
you guys did night shooting too, right?
Yeah, we did like I think that was part of the way of the pistol is what they call it, is the advanced part is we did some like using your flashlight, moving and shooting, stuff like that, So
you went from no training to those classes look like they were pretty advanced. So you went from no real training to like hardcore right away. That seems insane to me.
Yeah.
That's awesome, but that's like, wow, that takes a lot of nuts to do that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I mean, they get you squared away. That program is really, really smart the way he set it up. That's why with our classes, a lot of our stuff replicates the stuff that I learned from him, which is we go over, clearing malfunctions, shooting on the move, cover versus concealment, because there's a difference with those and what stops bullets, what doesn't stop bullets. Using tactics, like, for example, how to beat your opponent by being smarter than them, by coming out of cover at different positions, different angles than you went in before. Right. Moving your feet as you're drawing, because movement is key too. But even that
stuff is really hard to do, like if you've never done it.
But yeah, even just with the fundamentals in general, like they got me squared away quick with the fundamentals, because a lot of people that own guns don't even really have fundamentals down, and the fundamentals is what makes you accurate,
Yeah, I remember. So I've been shooting 15 or 16 years. And I remember I would just buy a bunch of ammo and go to the range and just, as long as I was hitting inside the square, I didn't care. And I would just shoot. I would shot more long range rifles than pistols. I never really practiced with pistols too much. And I just went there and burned off ammo, and I didn't care. I just had a good time. It's only recently in the last 6 months to a year I've kind of taken it. All right, maybe I should take this a little serious. And then, I saw you too, because I was right next over at Thunder Gun Range. I was next door with my instructor and my wife. We did our own class, and then you were over there running and gunning like nonstop, like nuts. And it was an all-girl class too.
Yeah. I mean, we've had guys sign up before, but it's mostly girls, and they're out there getting dirty in the rain, whatever, and it's a good time. So if there's any girls that are watching that are in this area, in the Houston area, come sign up for a class. Like, you'll love it. And we also have a class coming up in Kentucky, so in Lexington, Kentucky. That's October 2nd and 3rd.
Nice. So I might stick my daughter in your class.
You should. How old is she?
She just turned 20.
Oh, okay. Perfect.
And she knows everything. She's at that age where she knows everything. Oh, yeah.
There we go.
But she's like a fanatic, CrossFit, triathlon, good at everything without trying. So I want to see how good she can be with a pistol and a rifle in one day.
Yeah, she would probably be pretty good, because people that are typically in shape and like are into like athletic type stuff, they tend to do pretty good with like the tactical stuff, because it's a lot of moving and kind of like dance steps, I would say, sort of.
Well, I'm in shape. I'm kind of, rounds of shape. So
yeah, there you go. Shaped like a zero.
Oh, damn! Keep the gloves up, Raquel. Keep the gloves up.
Yeah.
So I got to ask you about your gun bunny video.
Oh, the music video, yeah.
The work you went in. So people that don't do YouTube have no idea how much work goes into editing, filming, thinking of these little scripts. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of time, a lot of practice. And for you to knock that video out, it's hilarious. Now, did you do that specifically aimed at some people?
Yeah, because that was around a time where we invented this thing called a dust cover, where, new girls or girls in general that haven't shot a lot will go to ranges or go out shooting with guys and have low-cut shirts. And guys don't say anything because they're dumb or they don't think about it or they don't want to say anything. And they'll get brass down their shirts and stuff. And a lot of women I've seen multiple times go into ranges with low-cut shirts. And there's been cases where people have shot guns and the casings went down their shirt and then they accidentally shot their instructor and stuff like that. So we invented this thing
really?
called, yeah, that happened at a range in Florida, actually.
Holy smokes.
So we invented this thing called a dust cover, and from two specific YouTubers, really a lot of hate was coming from one, a lot, but another one was hating a little too. They were just bashing me and saying this is sexist towards women, but yet calling me a gun bunny in the same line, and just being total haters, total assholes. And then there was just random people, that were all commenting on there and just talking crap and everybody going off and stuff. So I was like, you know what? I'm going to shut these people up. And I decided to do a music video and call these people out because they're just being straight up haters, I mean, they don't like capitalism,
Right. It's crazy how people will just jump on the bandwagon for no reason, just to
I've learned a lot of people are like that. A lot of people are sheep. That's a very sheep mentality.
100%.
They're all picking on her. Let me do it too. I want to get my turn.
So far, I haven't ran into any of those myself. Like, I've seen people get all this crazy spam in their chats and all this racist, all this off the wall. So far, knock on wood, I haven't had to deal with any of that. I don't even have like a moderator. I don't think I've ever blocked someone in a chat. Don't get any ideas, chat, by the way. Let's see. We got Mike McClune. Felicia's in here. Oh, Felicia's awesome. Frank. Maddie Keaton.
Oh, Matt Keaton.
Oh, that's a new one.
Yeah, Matt Keaton. He's one of our fans. He's awesome.
Nice. Hey, if you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. You can always unsubscribe if you don't like it. 50-50 shot of that happening. So, and then also American Gun Chick. I just put her link in the description. Please subscribe to her channel. It is Great. So I got to tell you, you helped get my 6-year-old into shooting. First, we watched Laura Croft, and I took her to the range once, and she's like, "Oh, it's too noisy. I don't like it." And we watched Laura Croft, and she's like, "Oh, her mind was blown." And
Yeah.
thank you, Angelina Jolie. Thank you very much. Um, and now she was like all into guns, and I showed her your princess one, and she went bonkers for it. She thought it was the funniest
Awesome.
dang thing she's ever seen. So I'm gonna need an autograph or something eventually, so she can
That's
stick it in her
awesome. Yeah.
room. She thought that was this is amazing. So if you haven't watched her, what would you call that video? Disney princess video?
Yeah, it's the open carry Disney princess. It's the part of your world, but it's called Open Carry Disney Princess music video.
Right, right. And if you haven't seen it, guys, go check it out after this one, please, after this chat. But it is probably one of the funniest things you'll see. It's so well put together. Again, that must have taken a lot of time. Who edits your videos? Joe?
Yeah. Joe edits them, and yeah, that music video and music videos in general, they take a lot of time to edit because a lot of times we have to go to different places and different scenarios to record different scenes and stuff like that. So for that one, we had to go all the way down to Florida and go to Nexus Shooting Center to use the inside like it was our castle, which thank you to them. They let us go in there early before anyone was there.
That's a really nice range.
Yeah, it's super nice.
Have you ever been to the range at Austin?
In which one?
It's just called the range at Austin. It's like a Guntuber club where they have an upstairs and it's so fancy. They have like the glass wall with all the guns behind it. Very similar to the one you were at.
Oh no, I need to go there then. I haven't been there, but
that's a very cool one. I went up there and I met Tim Kennedy. Oh man, I fanboyed out hardcore. I love Tim Kennedy.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, Tim Kennedy, you're the man. But
yeah.
They're opening just up 45 here, just south of the Woodlands. They're opening a country club where it's going to be the exact same format as the one in Austin, where it's two stories. There's a private lounge, private cigar bar. Very, very cool. That should be up and running by February.
Really? That's cool. I'll go check it out.
I think membership's about $6,000 a year though.
Oh wow.
Oh yeah. I was like, oh wow. I was excited until I saw that and I was like, well, maybe I'll work there part-time and I get a discount.
Yeah, I mean, can you make payments,
I know. Do you guys have layaway? And I think you still have to make a monthly payment besides your yearly too.
Wow. Well, must be fancy.
I know. So Marcus in the chat says the flamethrower one. Yes. So the Tiger King, she also does a Tiger King flamethrower one. Again, I spit out my water when I watched it. It was so funny. It was so ridiculous because I'm a Tiger King fanatic. I love that show.
Yeah, that show is crazy. Like when we watched it, we were like, it can't get any crazier, and then it just kept getting crazier.
Right? And it hooks you. The last sentence of every show makes you watch the next show.
Yeah, exactly. That one was a lot of fun. And that flamethrower was so much fun too. You should get one.
Yeah. Well, I got to shoot one once at Trinity Armory. There's the guy that works there, one of the RSOs, the manager actually has one. That thing is so ridiculous. He wants to sell it.
Yeah.
I can't afford it. He wants like $800 for it. I'm just a poor YouTuber. I don't make,
Yeah.
My wife would kill me if I came home with a flamethrower.
Until she shot it, then she'd be like, "Oh, this is kind of cool, actually."
Actually, she probably would. She shoots a Colt 1911.
Oh, well, there you go.
She doesn't shoot little girl guns, any of that stuff. She's 100 pounds. She's like 105 pounds, 5 feet tall, and she shoots a 45 like nobody's business.
Yeah, so, there you go.
And I always tell people, like, if you go buy a gun for a girl, don't do it. Just have them go try a bunch of guns, and whatever they like, that's what they buy.
Exactly, yeah. Because if you buy one for her, it's gonna end up being the one that she doesn't want, or she won't like it, or there's so many different things that can happen. But yeah, or even the guy behind the counter all the time will try to tell women, and probably men too, you should get this gun. You should get this gun. This one's great, or blah blah blah. And I've had family members go to the range and ask for a specific gun, and they're like, "Well, what is it for?" And they tell them, they're like, "Well, you should get this one instead." I'm like,
Yeah.
You should get what you want, and you test it out before you buy it too. Is what I've learned too.
Yeah. I
I've learned
remember
a lot.
I was in the market for a Canic, and I was at the what was it? What gun range was that? Was it Spring Guns and Ammo? And the guy in the counter was like, "Oh man, you don't want that gun. That's cheap. You know, you should get a Glock."
Yeah,
I was like, "I'm not a big Glock fan. I mean, I like Glocks, but I don't own any. I like
yeah,
XDs or 1911s." He goes, "No, you need a Glock." And he only wanted to sell me a Glock. I was like, "All right, well, you just lost the sale because I had cash in my pocket." So I was like, "Well, you just
yeah.
lost your sale, buddy."
I don't know why they always do that. I think it's because they want you to buy what they think is the best. But it's like, dude, everybody doesn't like the same gun, and that's fine. You know, there's no like, oh, this gun is the best gun on the planet. In reality, it's whatever gun you're training with, and if you even are training, you know, there's not like a gun you can buy where you're like, if I buy this gun, then I'm
Right.
less likely to die in my gunfight. It's like, I mean, and everybody's hands are different sizes and all that stuff, and have different preferences, and you know,
Right.
as long as you're not
Absolute
buying
Misty's in the chat. Absolute Misty. I don't know if she watches your channel, but Misty, if you don't, you should definitely watch her channel. It's amazing. It's really, really fun. Although you should, your videos have been lagging lately. You're too busy training to upload content. What's up?
to me.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we have been putting on a lot of classes and traveling and stuff, but don't worry, we're gonna pre-record a bunch of videos, and then we're gonna start uploading a bunch of stuff. But
Shooting Gallery
also,
New England says he's watched the Tiger King 3 times all the way through. Wow,
3 times.
that's a lot. But I've watched it twice all the way through. Yeah, but you'll watch your YouTube video of it a couple times because it's funny.
Yeah,
Let's
if you like
see.
Tiger King, watch my music video.
Tina Buys, if you are a woman on here, take AGC class. It's amazing and you learn lots. That must be one of your subscribers.
Yeah,
Awesome.
she's awesome. She took the class. She did great too.
Nice. A-Dubs says he went to Tiger King thinking it was a follow-up to Eastbound and Down. Maybe. Yeah, that was pretty good. Got WhatsApp, Mike McClune. Let's see. Shooting Gallery, Average Joe, YouTube. Oh, that guy. God, Average Joe too. He's in here.
Oh yeah, he's seen the real Carol Baskins in the video. She is. I forgot to mention that in the beginning. The real Carol Baskins in the video. So
yeah, I noticed that. That was pretty. What is he? You need to give Smash a set for your awesome lady safety shades. Oh, so I was at Trinity Armory and I was cutting up some videos, and my buddy Mike C6 here was with me, and I shot all this video without my glasses down, and I couldn't use any of it because if you do that, YouTube will bounce your video. So I wasted like 5 full auto clips through an MP5. I was so excited to shoot the gun, I forgot to put my glasses down. I was so mad. So mad.
that does suck. It's like, come on.
I know. So what's your EDC nowadays? What do you carry every day?
It's a Glock 43. So that's been my EDC for a while. I'm thinking about changing it up in the future, maybe. I don't know. I've been kind of liking that Arex gun that I have with that red dot a lot, but
what's that called? A Delta?
Yeah, it's the Delta M, I believe. Yeah, it's the Arex Delta.
Nice.
And it's great. I mean, I like it a lot. It just the frame of it fits my hands perfectly, and I can control the recoil very easily. And I like the amount of rounds I have and all. But it is a red dot, and I'm new to a red dot, so I don't know if I'm ready to commit to carrying a red dot. But we'll see. You know, I want to do some more dry fire with it.
So I have one here, not a pistol with the red dot. It's a XDM Elite 3.8 with the red dot, and I just got into red dots, and at first I really didn't like it.
Yeah.
But it's growing on me, and now with a little bit of practice, man, it is amazing to be able to shoot, 20 yards and just really, man, it's almost cheating.
Yeah, red dots are awesome.
It's just that first picture. If you can bring up and get line of sight, that first picture, then all your follow-up shots are great. It's just breaking that habit of fishing around for it. That takes a little bit of time. I'm still working on that.
Yeah, with that, the best way to fix that is just dry fire. That's why I'm trying to dry fire a lot with it, and I want to dry fire more with it because I've really only been dry firing with my 43 with iron sights, so I'm used to lining up those iron sights. But yeah, if you dry fire that red dot, then apparently when you line it up, you'll see it. You will see it in like less than a second. You'll see it right away as soon as you bring it out, which I still bring it out and have to move it around a little bit, you know?
Yeah, I mean, I'm getting a little bit better. The first time I took it to the range, I was like, this stinks. I don't know why people are shooting with this. It's horrible. And then I started catching on. I'm like, this is amazing. This is the best gun ever. Now I've been carrying it for 3 weeks now, 4 weeks, a solid 3 weeks I've been carrying it. And the only problem with carrying with the red dot is you get lint in the red dot. So you got to take a Q-tip every couple days and clean it out because you get like shirt lint and stuff. So that's kind of a bummer. But as long as you have good hygiene and take care of your guns, like I clean my gun every month. I most people don't, but I always take care of my stuff. So
yeah, you get too much lint as you draw it, you have to blow on it.
I know you're like, hold on, guys, hold on. So you got to meet a lot of cool, famous people like Mr. Yeager, Mr. Anti-1911. I forgave him for that, by the way.
Oh, but, yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
he had good points. He had good points. I couldn't really argue too much, but I've never had 1911s that were that sucky that just jammed. Maybe I just got lucky. I don't know. But anyway, that's another thing. But Mr. Eric from IV88, he's in the gun world. He's pretty famous. One of my favorites. I've been watching Black Rambo. I think that guy is a riot. How did you get hooked up with him?
I met him at, I think it was SHOT Show. Yeah, it was SHOT Show. I met him a couple SHOT shows ago or something. It might have been like 2 SHOT shows ago or something like that. And we just hit it off, and I thought he was cool. He was awesome. He has this look where I feel like a lot of people were just being rude and being jerks to him and were writing him off because maybe they didn't. I've noticed like a lot of people in the gun community, if you don't fit a specific mold that they want, and you don't look like a typical ex-military, ex-cop guy or whatever, then they just write you off. Like you have to look like a certain way, which is, I think it's stupid. So I'm nice to everybody because, you know, I think everybody individually, if your personality sucks, then I won't like you, but it doesn't matter what you look like. So, but Rambo was awesome. We hit it off, and then I saw him at like some parties later on and stuff. And then we were passing through Louisiana, and we hung out and did some videos. And he always has the coolest guns. I'm telling you, out of everybody that's always trying to show me their gun collection, I got this, this, and this. I'm like, oh, that's awesome.
Oh, yeah. Stuff, yeah, I've been following him for a long time. And I would tell people like, hey, man, you heard of Black Rambo? And at first they're like, dude, that's racist. I'm like, no, it's this guy. He calls himself Black Rambo. He's really funny. He's really a funny guy. I've been watching him like a couple years already. And he's funny, man. He cracks me up. I can't wait. Eventually I'll meet him in person, but he's one of my favorites on YouTube right now. Really funny dude. And he's got some crazy guns.
Yeah, he's really funny. Yeah, he does little short videos on his Instagram that are hilarious. Like one time he pulled out this huge revolver. It was probably like a 500 Smith & Wesson or something. And then he shot a gallon of milk, and the whole milk spilled all over his hair and all over his face. And he was like, holy crap. It was just hilarious.
Oh, I missed that one. I got to find that one.
Yeah, he does. Yeah, he does all kinds. And then one time he shot a big thing of meat, and a piece of meat went flying and almost knocked him out. And I was like, this is too much.
Yeah, he plays like, who has the biggest gun collection, and, people try and show up in front that they have like better guns than him. And then he'll pull out some real Gucci stuff and just blow them away. Yeah. I've never seen him lose a gun show off yet. Like he almost got to show up with a tank to beat this guy, or a jet or something completely out of this world, man.
Yeah, he has a lot of cool guns. A lot of companies give him guns, and it's awesome.
Yeah, I think he has his own line of ARs, right?
I don't think so. No, he sells ammo though.
He sells ammo. I thought he was doing some kind of AR.
Not that I've heard.
Man. So tell everyone about Joe. So who is Joe? Because everyone hears him in the background, but I don't think a lot of people see him, or he's kind of like a ghost. Does he really exist?
No, I'm just kidding. Yeah, he's a hidden man in the back, and we keep him hidden because it makes it more exciting, and people are like, "Oh, we want to see Joe," and I'm like, "Well, no, you can't," because it makes it more exciting. But he's the guy that runs the show behind the scenes, and he does all the editing and filming from behind the camera.
You're
and
so lucky.
I know. He's awesome too. He handles a lot of stuff for me, and he comes up with a lot of cool ideas and stuff. And he manages everything, and he keeps everything in order and is very organized and stuff. So,
Man, I need like a Josephina in my life that'll do all that stuff. Because editing, I got about 7 videos right now that are complete. All the stuff that has been shot, I just don't have time to edit it. That's what I'm going to try and do this weekend and kick out a bunch of videos. But people that don't do YouTube, oh, look, we have Mr. Big Kid in the chat. Where is he? There he is. Hey, American Gun Chick. Nice meeting you at Range Day.
You too, Mr. Big Kid.
He's funny. He is a big kid. That big goofy grin while he shoots guns. I'm kidding. He's going to block me. I've been getting blocked lately by a lot of people.
Hey, but I want to say real quick, if you ever go out to Jaegers and you take a class, bring your 1911, and then you could see if, because before you mentioned that you said you haven't had too many jams or anything like that, run it through a class, and then that'll be the ultimate test to see if you still like it after that.
I got a 10 millimeter on the way, and shucks, that's going to be an expensive class. Because how many pistol rounds do you guys go through?
How many do we go through? I want to say like 500 a day. I can't really remember, to be honest.
500 at 10 mil? Oh my God, that's going to be a couple $100 easy.
Bring about 1,000 rounds or maybe, I can't remember exactly. I don't know why I'm brain farting right now, because I always just bring a big bulk and just use whatever I need, But
so let me give you guys a sneak peek about tomorrow's video. It's about networking. If you look on the shelf back there, there's 8 boxes of 200 round 9 millimeters, and then there's 5 boxes of 100 round. And all of this ammo was through my good friend Mike, who, while I was slaving away at a desk, he was out hunting ammo, and he picked some up for me while he was on his way. So I think just this week he picked up around 4,000 rounds just for him. So he let me buy half of his stash. What a great guy. And remember, build your local network, because while you're out, they might see it. They might pick it up for you. So
yeah,
it's a blessing to have friends in the gun community locally. Build your local network.
Yeah, exactly.
What's up? So let's talk about SHOT Show. When was the first time you went to SHOT Show? Was that 2016 or 17?
The first time I went to SHOT Show, I'm trying to remember. I've been to a lot of SHOT shows now. It wasn't, I think it might have been 2016, maybe not 15. I need to ask Joe. Like he stores all this information in his brain, and he like knows everything, I feel like. But let's go with 2016. I'm pretty sure it was 2016 was my first SHOT Show, and so I've been to a couple of them, 16, 17, 18.
I know. I'm used to always hearing them in the background.
So I've been to like 5 SHOT shows. Yeah. So I've been to a lot of SHOT shows. What about you? How many have you been to? None?
I've only been doing YouTube for about 6 months.
Oh, okay. Well,
7 months now. What month is it? I started in like December, pretty serious. So 8 months. Is it 8 months? God, this year is going by so fast. Yeah, just about. Oh yeah. I used to go to Vegas all the time. So, I'm from Los Angeles originally. I don't tell a lot of people that. So I'm from LA, and we used to go, because it's just a couple hours. We'd go to Vegas once a month or a couple times a month, and it's great as long as you have money. But it gets a little rough if you're broke. But
yeah, that's true. SHOT Show's fun. It's tiring though.
So what are your tips? So I'm a first-time SHOT shower, and I see people walking around with tripods and cameras and all that stuff, and I just want to go hang out. Like I don't even know if I want to make videos while I go. I just want to go.
Yeah, I mean, I don't make videos when I go. Like when I go, like the first time I went, it's all about business. I just go to like every booth I can. You get a map too, so you can look at specifically what booths you want to go to. But you just go to as many booths as you can in different companies and tell them about what you do. And it does help when you have more numbers too, because then they look at you as like you're more valuable, as bad as that sounds kind of. But yeah, companies where they want to get their product out there and seen. So if you're there, you can talk to them and they'll pretty much have to, kick your butt a little bit, and they'll, in the future send you product or send you product for like give you money and product so you promote their stuff or whatever.
Money and products. Man, I don't think I'll be at that level. Like I reached out to this company. I'm like, hey, can I get that gun? And they're like, nope. And I said, okay, cool. As I went on Gunbroker and just bought it. I was like, well, I'll just buy it. I mean, I'm still going to do a review on it. It'd be nice if they had given me a discount or at least let me get a test one or something, but
yeah,
I'm not that cool yet.
It's all right. I think you're pretty cool, but no, I mean, a lot of times too, you have to figure it out the way, I don't know, like it's just business, and I'm not good at business either. That's why I have Joe, and he can help handle a lot of that stuff and stuff like that.
Yeah, you are so lucky. Like, honestly, I don't think the editing kills me. But I don't know if I'm kind of a control freak. I don't know if I could let someone else edit my video because I like it my way, So I'm kind of stuck. But man, it would be nice if you give someone all the footage, like you deal with it.
Yeah, I trust Joe enough to where I'm just like, edit it however you want, record it however you want. I just be me in front of the camera, and I know it'll turn out good, And if it doesn't turn out good, whatever, I just, as long as it's like really raw and real and, not too edited. Of course, if it's like a music video, you want it to be like a specific way and stuff like that. But a lot of my videos, I like them to just be like 100%. This is me. You can see my flaws. Who cares,
Yeah, your videos really come off as genuine. That's why I don't understand the hate. And like me and my wife watched a ton of your videos the other day because I was doing like show prep, and they were hilarious. When you got to the Carol Baskin one, I'm like, this is gold. I mean, it's really a pretty good production value. That's like I watch Mr. Big Kid stuff, and his intro is ridiculous. I brag about his intro, and then I complimented on his intro, and he's like, yeah, it's cool. I think I'll probably do another one. I'm like, no, that's awesome. And he's like, yeah, it's kind of cool. It's killing me. So you've done IPDA. How many of those matches have you done?
Not a lot. I want to say 1 or 2, maybe. I did it like one time. Where was it? It was, I have a video on it. It was a long time ago. I can't even remember where it was. I think it might have been somewhere in Florida. I did an IDPA match, but like I said, the whole competition shooting stuff, I never really took it seriously. I kind of would just do it here and there. I've done it probably a total of like 3 or 4 matches just for fun, because there's a lot of different rules and specific stuff you have to do there that can break your training that you've trained for with tactical stuff. And I've trained a lot of years with my tactical training that I don't want to break those habits and mess them up or anything like that. Like, you have to stay in a box. You can't move once you hit a buzzer in your drawing, which like bugs me, and I'll move anyway and step out of there. And so I get penalties for that. And then if you drop your mags on the ground, you get penalties for that. And I do that too. And going gun up, you get sometimes disqualified for that. So there's a lot of things that can mess up your score. But a lot of times I just do it because it's something to do and it's fun, and I think it would make a great video. And you can meet some people sometimes, and sometimes you meet some jerks that are just full of themselves and think they're all amazing because they're a competition shooter. But you never know who you're going to meet, and it's fun.
Yeah, I remember we did so my last meet and greet we had at Renaissance Gun Club. Shout out to Renaissance Gun Club. It's a phenomenal gun range. And I thought we were just going to show up, shoot some steel, have some barbecue, and hang out like my last meet. And I'm like, cool. So my subscribers aren't exactly the most tactical. They don't show up in like SWAT gear and vests. And like what you said, people would probably dismiss them as, they don't have, a lot of these guys don't have, fancy schmancy guns. And, they're not high dollar for the most part. Half of them have some cool stuff. But most people just have regular old guns, man. Nothing too crazy, nothing too fancy. And we ended up shooting 2 steel courses with the whole little beep and all that stuff. And it was a reality check because none of us had done it before except one guy. And we're all pretty okay shooters. But when it's under pressure and there's a beep and someone's standing right next to you, God, we all suck so bad. It was horrible. It was a good reality check, though. Now I think we're going to do another one in September at the same spot.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, when you are under pressure like that and everything, it adds that intenseness, and I don't know, but I mean, yeah, and a lot of times with competition shooters, they have the certain specific setup that's specific for what they're doing and will help them in that scenario. And a lot of times, some of the guys that are really serious, I've noticed, repack their own ammo and put very light loads in there, so there's not a lot of recoil, and they think about all this stuff like they think about it hardcore. I noticed,
Right. Or they use that ammo with that real slippery, like red tip. It's supposed to be exactly. It's supposed to have like light load and be really fast.
Yeah.
I don't know. I don't know anything about that. I just like to shoot stuff and have a good time. Again, if you're in the chat and you're not a subscriber, please subscribe to the channel. I'd greatly appreciate it. And I'm going to put American Gun Chicks in the chat box. If you're not a subscriber to her channel, please subscribe to her channel. She'd greatly appreciate it too before YouTube makes her channel disappear. I think we're all eventually going to just one day we're going to wake up and we're all going to be gone.
Yeah. That sounds very.
Unless we have a barbecue channel like Gaucho Q. That's Mr. Big Kid's other channel. He has a barbecue channel with a rabid fan base and some pretty good recipes.
There you go.
I know. I need to start another channel on hair and makeup, maybe.
Yeah, I'll do a hair and makeup channel, and then it'll be at like a certain time mark. I'll like show you my gun and then like hide it. So,
I know, right? They don't watch you after like 2 minutes, and then you start showing guns, and then come back.
Like, hey guys, today I'm going to show you my makeup tutorial, and we're going to contour this side of your face. All right, are they gone? The YouTube police. All right, now I'm going to show you my new AREX Delta M.
I've looked at that pistol. It looks really cool, but I really want a 1911, and I'm so close to pulling a trigger on this 10 millimeter from Springfield Armory, but I don't know. I really want my SIG.
Actually, you should. I'm not going to be like the guy behind the counter. You should do what you want to do.
I know. Thank you.
Shoot all of them first.
I know. Shoot all of them. Well, I had a SIG 1911 and 10 millimeter. They're TAC Ops, and I loved it so much. But I had to sell it last year, and I was like crying on the inside. So one day I'll get it back. One day soon, probably in a month or two. When I find one, I'm going to get it.
Yeah.
So what are your pointers for SHOT Show? Because I'm going to go this time. Well, unless they shut down Vegas again.
I would say go there and be really friendly. Meet everybody. Go to all the booths and tell them what you do and just talk to them. And they'll talk to you. That's why they're there. They're there to show off their stuff and talk to people. And then I would definitely say it's going to be a long day and you're going to be tired. But try to go to all the parties after too, because everybody has alcohol in their system and they're all in a good mood and they're all friendly and stuff. And go to all the parties and just mingle with everybody you can, because there's going to be a lot of YouTubers there, some big YouTubers, some medium size, some smaller. And that's what I did. I mean, I wasn't that big. And like when I first went there, and you just talk to everybody and be yourself and they'll love you. And then, you can start doing like maybe collaborations with them and different stuff like that. I would say definitely go to the parties, the after parties, and go to the Circle Bar, because not only is it fun because it's the Circle Bar in Vegas, but that's where everybody hangs out. They call it the Circle Bar. It's in the Venetian.
Oh, that's a good tip.
So,
Mr. Big Kid says bring a big empty backpack because there is lots of swag.
Yeah. Well, they can't actually really sell anything, but they can give you swag. I'm pretty sure, like little things,
Yeah, that would be cool. I just want to go just to hang out. Like, honestly, I really do YouTube just to kind of hang out with people. And I was talking to a friend of mine today. It's like, I turned 40 a couple years ago, and I was looking around like, man, all my friends are in LA, and I really don't have any gun friends out here. So that was my goal for 2021. It's like, I'm going to make some gun friends so I can go shoot and have a good time with people. And then YouTube kind of just started. So I was like, cool, man. I'll just,
There you go. Well, if you want a lot of gun friends, I'm telling you, SHOT Show at the Circle Bar. Everybody's been drinking and make a lot of friends.
Nice. So who picks up that check?
Who picks up what check?
Who picks up the bill on that?
For what do you mean?
The Circle Bar.
Just you. I mean, it's just nobody. It's a bar. You go there and you buy your drink and then you pay for it yourself.
I know. I was at a mixer last week for my industry, and I was hosting it. As soon as people got there, they're like, "Who's paying? Who's paying?" And then I left with a hefty bill, and no one was offering to help pay that bill. I was like, "That's messed up."
Yeah.
That's
No,
messed
the
up.
Circle
Sometimes
Bar
you
is
get-
it's just like a bar inside the casino. So it's like it's not owned by anything from SHOT Show or anything like that. It's just where everyone goes, kind of. It's like
nice.
the watering hole of SHOT Show.
Very good. That's a good tip. What else? As far as like inside, like should you bring snacks? Do they have food there?
They do have food there. They have like concession stand. Well, a cafeteria actually, where they like sell food and stuff like that, and you can get food.
Nice.
So you can get food and coffee and different stuff there. You can bring snacks if you want to. Bring like a backpack and bring some snacks. I always get hungry when I'm there. Well, I get hangry actually, where I'm like, I gotta eat. So bring a water, bring some snacks. I wonder how that's gonna go with like if they're trying to pump this new Delta variant, whatever BS they're talking
I don't
about.
even know. It's going to be a bummer if they cancel it, because like I do trade shows for not a living, but in my industry, since I'm like a global blah, 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 I do trade shows in Houston. I do one in Houston, one in New Orleans. And it's usually 3 days of me standing at a booth talking to people nonstop. So I know how to work a trade show, and they're fun and it's exciting, but man, your cankles will be swollen by the end of that 3 days.
Yeah. SHOT Show's tiring too. You all day long, and then you go to the Circle Bar and you have a couple drinks, and you wake up and you're hungover, and then you go do it again.
Right.
But it's fun. It's a lot of fun.
So I wanted to ask you this. Why training? So what made you decide that you wanted to go in that direction? Like, you're doing YouTube videos. I mean, it's good stuff. You're getting pretty decent views. Why'd you decide to do training? Like, how'd that get in your head?
Well, I think it was because James Yeager, like I said, reached out to me. And when he reached out to me, I got pretty excited. I was like, oh, classes? Like, that sounds cool. So I decided to take his classes, and, who would say no to that? So, and then when I took his class, I just started to get really excited and build a lot of confidence because I was getting a lot better.
Right.
And so I just kept taking classes more and more and more. So that's why I got into training. Now, are you asking why I got into training or why I teach?
Why you decided to become a trainer?
Oh, well, over time, as I was taking classes, I had a lot of guys reach out to me and say, my wife was inspired by watching your videos, and now she goes to the range with me, and I could never get her to go to the range before. It was a struggle, and I thought that was pretty cool, and everything was kind of just lining up to where. And then I went and took James Yeager's instructor class. And after I took his instructor class, I was like, yeah, I need to be teaching these classes, because I was building a lot of confidence, and I was retaining a lot of knowledge. And so I figured I could give back to girls with what I have now with all the training and all that stuff. So
I think a co-ed training class would be a blast.
A what?
Like a co-ed, like girls and guys training, because some of these guys take it way too serious. I'm like, yeah, you should take it serious, but come on, man.
Exactly. Yeah.
Lighten up.
And a lot of girls, they want another female instructor. I've had a lot of girls take my class, and they said, I took your class because I'm comfortable with you. If there was no female, if there was nobody else out there, I wouldn't have gotten training at all, because I couldn't take a class from some guy that was like, I couldn't relate to, and they related to me. So, we got sponsored by Sportsman's Guide to go around and do 12 tour stops and host these classes. So we did that, and we fulfilled all of these classes and got all of these girls squared away, from some girls that have never touched a gun in their life to girls that were now, as soon as they get a click and no bang, moving their feet, tap racking, getting back in the fight quickly.
That's so cool.
Shooting from retention position, shooting on the move, shooting around cover, like clearing all types of malfunctions, clearing double feeds very quickly while they're moving their feet. And it was just awesome. So now, after we did all the classes that Sportsman's Guide sponsored for us, now we have it open to the public to where men and women can take the class, and we don't film it now, but it's just like a regular class that you would pay for, you know. But before it was sponsored by Sportsman's Guide, but it's awesome.
Right.
I love taking girls from how I used to be to how I felt when I was starting to train too.
Yeah, it's great. Like, just taking, the one class I took, I felt really confident. And I was able to work out quite a few bad habits, and it's awesome. So Shooting Gallery New England, shout out to Shooting Gallery New England, says, how possible is it that SHOT Show gets canceled in February? I mean, that's over 6 months away.
Yeah. Well, in January. Yeah.
January.
It wouldn't surprise me, to be honest, but who knows, you know?
Mr. Big Kid in the chat, do you think it's going to get canceled? Can you chime in on that? Arizona's closer than Houston to Vegas. I love Vegas, and
yeah,
I really love Vegas. I spent some of the best and worst nights of my life in Vegas.
Yeah. Vegas is funny. I like Vegas.
So much fun. Oh God, so many stories over. We'll have that conversation over some drinks. Black Zach says he thinks they might do things different because it's COVID.
Yeah. Well, you know, this Friday, Vegas is bringing back their mask mandate. So,
man. Well, if it gets shut down again, I think in January they might move SHOT Show. Maybe they'll move it to Texas or to a free state. Maybe Florida would be cool because, I mean, it's a Vegas show, but they can't go 2 years in a row without having it. That'd be ridiculous.
Yeah, who knows? I don't know. It's always been in Vegas, but anything's possible. Who knows? You know,
that's a lot of money they're going to lose too. You know, it's such a impact.
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Texas roots, they could require vaccine and mask. Yeah, how many gun people are out there getting that jab in their arm? Probably less than 20%.
Yeah, and you're talking about gun people. A lot of gun people too. I mean, there's gun people that I think would get it and probably have gotten it, but a majority of them, I don't know if they probably would be like no, you know.
Right. I know Arizona's right next door. They have a huge convention center. I think they should move it to a free state. But even Arizona might get locked down. Heck, Texas might get locked down again. But if they try and do that with my kids, I'm taking them out of school. My kids are not going to be walking around wearing masks. You know, we put up with it for a little bit. No.
Were they doing that with kids before? Where they made them wear masks in school?
Well, when school went back in session, we did 4 weeks of homeschool. And then when they opened the school up, they went to school. They had to wear a mask or a gaiter. But yeah. You know, kids are full of germs. You know, if it was that contagious, one kid gets it, they all get it. My worry is, what about the immune system? You know, kids are at that age, 7, 8, 9, 10, they build up these really strong immune systems because they're always sick, and they're, you know, that's where they really get a strong immune system. So if they're running around or not socializing, I mean, they're scared to touch each other. And, you know, you can't even say hello.
Plus, they're probably half those kids don't like being uncomfortable and probably wearing masks. So they're probably like not wearing them half the time or.
No, they were pretty good about it. Surprisingly enough, they were pretty good about it. 2A EDU is in the house. Very good live stream last night, 2A, until YouTube shut it down.
YouTube.
I know, YouTube. He held up a slide and they assumed it was a gun. But then again, you got to imagine somebody at YouTube, they don't even know the parts of the gun. So yeah. I would never touch any part of anything because you don't know what guy or girl is watching your video either in India or in LA, and they don't know anything about guns.
That's
they might have assumed
like the slide's not the part that's considered a gun anyway.
But they don't know that. They don't know anything about guns.
Yeah.
They're anti-gunners.
Yeah, they see them as evil killing tools.
Right.
And if we got rid of them, nobody would have them, just like in Mexico.
Average Joe 2, vax and mask mandates equals SHOT Show canceled. Yeah, I wouldn't go. There's no way. No way.
Well, if they do this where it's like, oh, you have to have the vaccine and a mask to enter this business or this whatever, people started saying, all right, we won't go there then, and they lost business, they would stop doing that because all it takes is people refusing to go. Then
What they should do is they should just do a giant outside show in the like a giant parking lot. That would be pretty sweet.
Yeah, I guarantee you they would pull some BS and try to shut that down too, or whatever.
They would. Absolutely. So I watched your last video with Autumn's Armory. That little kid is so dope. But she talks a lot of smack for a little kid. I like that kid.
Yeah, that's funny. She does. She does actually. She's cool though. She's a little 8-year-old and she's a great shooter and she's super into it. It's not one of those things you would think where the dad's like forcing her daughter to do this and she's like, all right, can we go home now? It's almost like she's forcing her dad to record everything.
Yeah, she was out there on her channel shooting a 10 millimeter. I'm like, come on. That's crazy. Yeah. And she shot it like a champ.
Yeah.
Super impressed with that kid.
And she's really confident too. She's like, I'm going to beat you. I'm like, all right.
Yeah, she said that. That was funny. What do you say to an 8-year-old?
You just
in your face.
Yeah.
After you beat her. Yeah, in your face.
Well, it's one of those things with a young YouTuber like that. You're like, man, if I do this video and we're running drills against each other, you're like, damned if you do, damned if you don't. Because if she beats me, then you look like an idiot because she beat you. But then if you beat her, then you look like a jerk because you just beat her, So it's like, what do you do,
Right. Mr. Big Kid says, I have been pumping multivitamins. I'm going to get so sick this year. My kid back in school. Oh, he has to wear a mask now? Oh, no. Arizona is still making kids wear masks in school? That's whack. In Texas, it's so far, they're going to start next week, August, I think, 12th, and no mask yet. And like I said, if they have my kid wear masks, I'm just going to take him out of school and homeschool him.
So they're talking about August 12th, they're going to make kids wear masks? Or
no, that's when school starts.
Oh, but like just the schools or everybody in general?
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah, because I'm like, I'm not wearing a mask,
No. No mask mandates as yet. Yeah, it's scary though that they.
Did everybody just forget that when the Fauci emails came out, when they were leaked or whatever, there was a point in those emails, I'm pretty sure, where Fauci was talking about how masks don't even really work because the COVID particles are so small that they can get through the mask. They either said so small or so big that they can get through the mask. Right. It's 100% true. Have you ever seen someone from the CDC or from a biolab go anywhere? They're dressed like they're going to the moon. I mean, nothing. Even the military face masks against chemical weapons is only like 80% accurate or something. And that's a full-on headgear, face mask, and all that stuff. I mean, it's just not for me. I'm done with it. I'm so done with it. It's over. Yeah, I mean, obviously, I don't want people getting sick and dying and stuff like that, but I mean, we still got to live our lives. So it's like, well, what they should do now, this is tough love. They should look at people like me and say, look, hey, fatty, why don't you lose some weight, get a little healthy, take some vitamins, get some sun, and get healthy. They're like, no, we don't want to fat shame people. Why? Do it. I'm pretty unhealthy. Like, I'm actually thinking about training to go to SHOT Show because I don't know if I could walk more than, a mile. I might pass out. I don't know. Yeah. I mean, why do they have to make a cheeseburger be $1, but a salad's like $10? I mean, come on. Right. I'm going to do the carnivore thing. I've been messing with it a little bit. It's going to be fun. All meat. Yeah. I like a lot of vegetables. I could never do that because I'm a fruit and vegetable person. See, I did carnivore for a while and it was amazing. And I was losing so much weight. And then, COVID hit and the prices of meat and everything went through the roof. I couldn't afford it because I was between jobs too. So I was like, man, I can't do it. And even now, man, 2 steaks in the grocery store, I think was like $34 for pretty average cuts of beef. I'm like, man, this is going to get expensive. Yeah. I mean, I'm spending all my money on ammo. I can't afford it. Yeah. Just eat ramen noodles and buy ammo and then you're good to go. 100%. You'll lose a ton of weight on ramen noodles. So really, are you going to do the NRA show? Well, yeah, I mean, we actually live, well, you live here too. What am I, what am I thinking about?
Right.
We live in the same area. So we're not going to go to the show itself, but we're going to go to like all the after parties. There's a lot of after parties, and there's going to be, we wanted to host our own honey badger event. So we don't know if that will happen. We're going to see about that. But we have so many friends that are going to be out here around that time. Black Rambo will be out here too. So maybe I could introduce you to him.
That's cool.
But,
I have like 3 friends. So yeah.
well,
Don't forget me on the invite. I mean, they just had a event here in Houston, Texas that I didn't get invited to. I was kind of butthurt about. I really wanted to go to it, but they lost my name in the email, I guess.
Yeah.
So, but yeah, the NRA show, I'll probably go to the show. I don't think I'll do any of like the what do you call it? Don't they have like a bunch of meetings and all that stuff too?
Yeah, they do like meetings and stuff, but you know, we mostly just are about like hanging out with our friends and just having a good time because we know a lot of people in the industry now, and that'll be a great opportunity for you to make a lot of gun friends. Actually,
Yeah, I just like meeting cool people.
Yeah,
Mr. Big Kid, are you coming out for the NRA show? If you do, I'll take you for a tomahawk steak at Taste of Texas.
There you go.
Do you like Taste of Texas?
I don't think I've been there.
What?
I don't think I've heard of that, actually. This is the first I've heard of it.
What? Taste of Texas is where I take people to impress them when they come to Texas. They have a salad bar. That's the only time I ever eat salad is at this bar because the plates are ice cold.
Really?
And everything is so fresh.
Oh,
Yeah, it's called Taste of Texas. It's on like Beltway in the 10 freeway on the west side of town. West side of town.
Really?
Yeah. Oh, it's so good. Taste of Texas is legit my favorite place.
Man, I'm gonna have to Google that and maybe go there sometime soon.
It's a little pricey. It's a little pricey, but man, it is so good.
Taste of Texas. I'm gonna remember that.
Mr. Big Kid, if you come out, we'll go to Taste of Texas, and then when you get the tomahawk steak, you can go back and pick it out, and they cook it perfectly. And man, they are so good. I've never had. You always hear people say that meat melts in your mouth, and they're like, "Yeah, whatever." But when you bite into it, it literally like disintegrates. It's so tender and so good. I don't know what they put in it. Crack? I don't know, but it's delicious. Totally hooked on that place.
That sounds really good.
That's so good. That's the only time I eat salad. I'm like, yeah, I can do salad.
Yeah.
So when is your next local class here that I can sign my daughter up for? Because I think that'd be really cool.
Yeah, our next class is going to be, we have one coming up in September. It's going to be September 18th and 19th. So yeah, that'd be awesome. Sign her up.
Okay, I'll move my event. I was going to do the 18th.
Oh, okay.
Just for that, I'll move mine. And she can go to yours and mine. I'm going to do, yeah, it's too hot to do something now. It's like, it's ridiculously hot. Like I want to go shoot Sunday, but
it is really hot. That's kind of why we went on the road and traveled a little bit and was trying to do classes other places. Cause it is so hot that our last class, one of the ladies that was taking the class was like overheating and had to leave the class. And it's just really intense on some people. Some people can't handle it. And you know, it's hard. I mean, I'm fine as long as I drink a lot of water, but it does get really, really hot.
Yeah, I thought about driving to like Dallas just to get rid of some of the humidity.
Yeah.
Because once you get up by the prison, once you get up past Conroe, it does cool down a little bit. But God, if you go anywhere south of Houston, the humidity level is just unbearable. It's so hot.
Yeah, you crack an egg on your sidewalk and make breakfast. Probably.
Pretty much. It does get rambunctious. So what's next for you? So you have the class coming up, and so how many more of these traveling classes are you going to do?
Let's see. I'm not really sure. We're always putting on classes and a lot of classes here and then sometimes traveling too. But we have one coming up in Lexington, Kentucky too. That's going to be October 2nd and 3rd. So if anyone is in that area, come take that class too. That'll be awesome. And then, you know, during kind of the winter time too, we can still put on classes because it's a little bit cooler and kind of nicer. So.
Oh, I'm going to be shooting like crazy when it's colder.
Yeah. And
September,
it'll be nice.
October, November, I'm going to be at the range every weekend.
Yeah, I can't believe it's almost like the seasons are so, like more intense. Like during the winter time in February, it was like snowing. It was so cold in Texas, and now it's summertime and it's blazing hot. You
Yeah,
can't
it
catch it.
snowed. That snow stuck around for like 4 days. It was amazing.
Yeah,
Were you here when the power went out?
yeah. I thought that was really weird too.
How long did you go without power?
Not that long because it like went out and then it came back on. I think it was just like a day we didn't have it.
Oh
So
man,
one of the days
lucky.
we just hung out in the car and just stayed in the car for like a while and then it came back on. I had a fireplace in my house, so I just laid right by the fireplace.
You're so lucky. We were down for like 12 days.
12 days. You didn't have any power?
So, I mean, I was fine. I got to test my preps, but let me just say, if you don't have sternos, go out and get sternos. Those little, um, they're like steam table heaters, but they have 5 hours. They're safe to do indoors. Put 5 of those in a room with me and my kids and some little tablets and laptops. Man, we were toasty warm, but man, it got really chilly in the rest of the house. It was so cold, like
Yeah.
flipping cold.
It was cold. I thought about getting in my car and just driving somewhere else, but the roads were kind of icy and slippery too. So
Super icy, super dangerous, super slippery.
yeah,
I did take my car out and did like a joyride with some all-wheel drive. It was really cool. But like my
yeah.
wife's car couldn't go anywhere.
And the stoplights were all out and stuff too.
Right. Right. It was tough. So let me ask you another question real quick before I know you're busy. You just did a live stream yourself, which I thought was insane. Now you're doing this one.
Yeah,
Um, so when I do my marathon live stream, I'm gonna try and do like a 12-hour live stream in a few weeks. Maybe you'll
really.
pop in for like a half hour and say hi.
Yeah,
But,
that's a long live stream, but I guess you could do that because you could just sit there and eat like a mukbang, and then if you got to pee, you could be like, "All right, guys, I'll be right back." And
well, that's why you have
yeah,
really good co-hosts. Like I don't consider you a guest. I consider you a co-host because you're really interesting. Everyone else is super interesting. So that's just, it's great having you guys on. So out of your gun ranges you've been to in Houston, Texas, what are your top 3
in Houston, Texas.
within
You mean
30
Conroe?
minutes? Yeah, Houston, Conroe area.
Um, well, I love Thunder Gun Range because Thunder Gun Range, that's where we host our class and everything. It's really nice.
Right.
Like when you show up, you've been there before. When you show up, there's like, this sounds really weird, but there's like monkeys on the roof and
Yeah.
not real monkeys, but like monkey statues and weird animal statues. It's almost like Pee-wee's Playhouse of gun ranges. You
It's a
show
little
up, there's all
bizarre.
kinds of bays, like all kinds of different bays, and there's a section for shooting rifle and section for shooting
So let me
pistol.
ask you
And
a
we see
question. If I'm just an average person, can I go there and just rent one of those bays with steel targets and shoot?
um,
Or do you have to be an instructor to shoot?
you know what? I'm not really sure on that answer because every time we've used those bays, we've used them for classes as instructors and stuff. So I've never asked as like just a, I don't want to say regular person, just as like a person that comes in that just wants to rent it. I'm sure you probably could. I would have to ask Jesse. The guy's name is Jesse that owns and runs that place.
Because that,
Um,
that's really close to me. I go out to Trinity, which is a phenomenal gun range. I love it, but it's like 35, 40 minutes out. Thunder is literally 10 minutes from my house. It's right there. So, God, it would be nice just to go shoot some pew
yeah.
pews and not have to go
Well,
so far out.
we're talking to him and talking about getting our own bay, like the Honey Badger Bay, where like it's our bay. So, maybe we could figure something out and we could go out there together and go shooting or something. But I
That'd be
would have
cool.
to talk to Jesse and see if he does that for people just to rent them. Because a lot of times when I see people using the bays, it's people that are teaching
Trainers,
classes.
right?
Yeah.
Oh, tell people about Honey Badger. What's that all about?
So the Honey Badger is actually, I have the logo right here because I have my hats right here. This is an American honey badger. Look how adorable and cute it
Oh,
is.
I
And if
want
you
to
look at the logo, have I showed you this before?
have.
Oh, what do you see in the logo?
Is that a gun?
Yep. There's a gun.
Very creative. Very creative.
I don't know if you can see my hand. Oh yeah, there's a gun right here. And then do you see anything else on top of the head?
Uh,
Probably hard to see with the hat, kind of.
looks like a Hershey kiss. I don't know. What?
So up there by where the nose is and the eye, I'm trying to angle so it's kind of up here. This is a knife right here. It's like a K-bar knife.
Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's kind of cool. I didn't see that at first. Now that you
Yeah.
mention it, I see it.
As good, but so this is our American Honey Badger logo, and what that is it's for girls that want to identify or that earn that you have to earn it really, like because you can't just be a honey badger. You have to really be a honey badger, but it's a lot of girls don't really want to rock like AR-15s or skeleton heads and stuff like that, but they want to feel, but they do want to represent that they are gun girls and that they aren't victims and that they can defend themselves and take responsibility for their own safety. And so they can rock this, which is adorable and cute. But if you look closely, there's a gun and a knife there. So
very cool.
Yeah, so so if other girls are honey badgers and they see them rocking this, it's kind of like one of those things where when you see a guy with cauliflower ear and you know not to mess with them because they've had training and they know what they're doing. So this is our honey badger program, and all the girls that take our class, they become honey badgers, and we add them to this group called the Honey Badger Alumni Group, and we share all kinds of stuff on there. I share videos of people being attacked and defending themselves, empowering stuff. We give advice, and we talk back and forth and stuff like that, and can talk about different stuff like that, So these are the hats, and for the first time ever, these hats are available to the public. Normally, we only sell these in the classes, but if you go to AmericanGunChic.com, you can get yourself a hat if you believe that you are a true honey badger and you carry your gun and you don't wait for a man to protect you,
100%, 100%. So I have a question. So I'm going to send my daughter. She's 20. She shot pistols a couple times, but never anything like from a draw or any of that stuff. What does she bring to your class? Does she need a tactical belt and all that stuff? I mean,
yeah.
Do you have a list? That would be cool.
Yeah. So, because a lot of times we've had girls show up and we've had to figure it out because they had really crappy belts or they didn't bring belts. And it's kind of, we always figure it out. But yeah, I would say for her to bring obviously a shirt that's high neckline,
Right.
Pants. It doesn't necessarily have to be like the best tactical pants or anything like that, but she needs to have a belt, and the better quality belt, like a gun belt, is better. But if she just wants to bring just a regular belt or whatever because you want to train how you fight, kind of, you're not always going to dress tactical. Bring a belt and then bring her holster. So does she have a gun and a holster already? Well, if she doesn't have that, that's okay because we can provide those things too.
I was going to take her and buy her a gun probably this weekend or next weekend. It's soon. She's going to get a gun soon because she needs one. Yeah.
Well, if you buy her a gun, we can send you a link for a holster because we have a holster company that works great. And actually, if you get a holster with an ulti clip, she doesn't even need a belt. She can just clip that ulti clip to her pants. And it works great because that's what I use for my carry. I just use it with an ulti clip. And yeah, but if she didn't have a gun, like if you didn't buy her a gun, we can provide the students the gun, the holster, the hearing protection, the eye protection. So, that's really all you need. And then you need 2 extra magazines because we do like mag changes and clearing double feeds and stuff like that.
Yeah, I always buy like if every gun I have has to have at least 5 mags.
Yeah. Yeah, I carry 2 extra mags. I mean, I could carry more, I should probably get some more, but I want at least 2 is the minimum,
Right. I'll probably get her like a full size 9mm, and then she can learn all the fundamentals, and then I don't know. I'm sure she'll get more guns later on. Then she can transition to something smaller, more concealable.
Yeah, and I mean, another part of the class that we do, depending on who's in our class, sometimes we don't always do this because it just depends. Some women already own some guns and they bring their guns. But for the ones that don't, we let them try out some different variations of different guns that we have just so they can see what they like and what feels good in their hands. We let them compare, my Glock 43 compared to a Shield and see how they like those. We let them shoot the Smith & Wesson M&P 2.0 compact compared to a Glock 19 so they can see those two and see how that feels.
Yeah, those are great guns.
Yeah, and then we let them shoot one of my favorite guns, which is a Smith & Wesson M&P with an Apex trigger we installed. And then at the end, we let them shoot the Smith & Wesson Bodyguard because it's a really tiny gun. And this is the mistake that women make. They see that gun, and this actually is specifically what happened to me. The guy behind the counter, this was, way, way before I've had a lot of training and all that. The guy on the counter was like, hey, this would be a great gun for you. You should buy it. You'll love it. This is great for women, this and that, all that stuff. I bought it, and I hate that gun, and I never shoot it, and it's the worst gun that I own. Because you think small and little is going to mean comfortable and nice to shoot, when in reality, there's something weighing it down, and it beats your hand up. It's not fun to shoot. It's not. And so all the women, whenever they shoot that gun, they realize that that's something that they wouldn't want, but they were thinking that would be something that they would buy,
Right.
So
real quick, shout out to Armament and Access for a $2 super chat. So that money's going to go right into my 3D printer purchase this weekend. I'm going to get a 3D printer.
Nice.
And have you shot the LCP Max from Ruger, the 380?
I don't think I might have.
It's so cool because a Ruger LCP is a great gun, but it sucks to train with. You don't really want to ever train with it. It's not fun to shoot. It's too kicky. But the LCP Max, it's 10 rounds, a little bit bigger grip, still compact, but you can really shoot and have a good time with it at the range. I shot the heck out of it lately. I love that gun.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, sometimes those tiny little 380s are just some people like them, but nobody really finds that enjoyable to shoot because you do beat your hand.
Plus, with the size of pistols these days, I don't think you really need a micro compact pistol. I mean, just a subcompact 9mm is fine.
I mean, actually, if I was going to get another 380, I kind of don't mind the Glock 42. It's a 380 and it's not that bad, for being a little 380, but it's
still pretty big.
Yeah. I mean, I was going to say it's not that much difference of the 43, but it's a little bit smaller, but it's like I said, the more weighted down and the bigger your gun is, the less recoil you're going to have on your hands and the more enjoyable it's going to be. Right.
100%. I agree. But the LCP Max is really something that you can shoot. And I was having a pretty fun time shooting, except freaking 380 is so much more expensive than 9mm right now. So I was burning a couple hundred rounds at 380 and I was like, God, it's painful because YouTube's not cheap, And I was like, wow, I tested the gun like crazy. I had a bunch of people shoot it, but I was like, man, I put probably about 600 rounds through it. Pretty easy.
Yeah.
But it shoots great. It's a phenomenal gun. Absolutely phenomenal gun.
Yeah. Yeah. Maybe I've shot it. I can't remember. I've shot so many things throughout the past 5 years. I can't remember what all I shot,
All right. Before we go, I want to find out what's your bedside gun.
My bedside gun?
Bad guys knocking at the door. There's 2 guys outside. They're about to kick your door in. What do you grab?
My Mossberg 500 shotgun. I did a video with that one. It's the one where I'm wearing that crazy cowboy hat and that red top and everything. Yep. So I keep that by my bed, and I like shotguns for home defense. That's what I'm grabbing.
Nice. I don't recommend shotguns for people that don't practice with them, but you've obviously shot yours a bunch, so it's probably super easy to shoot. And you shot it under, I'm sure you shot it under stress too, because, that was a big reality check, when I did that class and we were shooting those steel targets under time limit, man. And boy, we all sucked. So it was a real big eye opener. So
yeah. Have you ever done force on force?
No. My wife does beat me up though on occasion.
Oh yeah, that counts. Your adrenaline gets going. Well, I would say you should do some force on force if you can. Try to make it out to tactical response. I'm telling you, just because James Yeager hates 1911s doesn't mean his program isn't good. You will have a good time. You'll love it. They do force on force there, and you can do some force on force there, and it opens your eyes to how important training is. Because if you don't have training,
Right.
you literally just draw a blank, and your body's reacting. And you're like, what am I doing? And even along the lines of like medical stuff too. Let's say you win the gunfight, but you're bleeding at a rate that's going to kill you in the next couple minutes. How are you going to stop that? And if you can't stop that, you still lost the fight, even though you killed the bad guy. So these are things people don't think about that are important too. And
Right.
I didn't even realize until I took this force on force. And people just think, let me buy a gun. If the guy busts in the door, it's like the movies. I just shoot him and he's going to fall down and I can call the cops and I'm the hometown hero. No, it doesn't work like that. Nothing in reality works like you see in the movies. It's all just made up mumbo jumbo, and you're actually doing yourself and your family and your kids a disservice if you don't get training, because you need to be capable of defending them as much as you possibly can, you know?
Yeah, shooting under pressure is crazy. I remember my very first time at a gun range, I hooked up with this crazy Marine, and then he goes, here's what I want you to do. I want you to unload your gun and put it on the table in front of you, and I'm going to stand across the room. When I say go, I want you to load it, rack it, and take one shot before I can get to you. So he's all the way across the gun range. It's a 12-lane range. He says go. By the time I loaded it and racked it, his hand was on my shoulder. And he goes, I weigh 280 pounds. Unless you hit me center mass, I will be able to get with you, struggle with you, and probably get the gun away and shoot you with it. So that's why I was like, man, that was a pretty big reality check. So I was like, dang, that sucks.
It's true. And what people don't realize is sometimes one shot, one bullet doesn't really get the job done. You might have to, you know,
No way.
You might have to do a couple shots. There might be multiple guys. We also go over this thing in our class called the 21-foot rule, which is if somebody is within 21 feet or closer to you, they can get to you, be stabbing you, or get on you before you have time to press off your first shot as you are doing your draw. And we've seen it before. There's studies they've done with cops where people charge at them. They go to draw their gun, and that person is on top of them, already stabbing them before they can fully present their gun and get off a shot. And so that's why we use this thing. That's why we go over the move, like move your feet. If you're drawing, move your feet. If you're fixing your gun, move your feet. Move to cover, because if you're moving your feet, that's buying you time while you're drawing your gun, and you're keeping distance from that person. All those things, you know.
All right, cool.
Don't train like that, people won't do that when it comes down to it.
Well, consider my daughter already signed up for your class, because, you know, just like giving your wife lessons or something, it's better that any instruction doesn't come from your parents, because they're not going to listen to you.
That's true. Yeah.
Unless they're 6. Like my 6-year-old listens to me now, but my 20-year-old, probably not.
Yeah. Well, it'll be awesome. I'm excited for
her. So it's a 2-day class?
Yeah, because we go over the first day is classroom portion, and we go over really important things that a lot of people, need to know before we get on the range, like safety, fundamentals, the mindset, the Cooper color codes, which is, can avoid the gunfight because you're being situationally aware, versus if you're not prepared and you can't react because you're looking at your phone or your head's up your butt. And then just a little bit of legalities, but not too much, because it's always changing, and there's a lot of things that can get you in trouble with that, and every state's different. And so we go over all of those things, and then the mindset, we get them pumped and ready for the class tomorrow with certain things we show. And then the next day we're shooting all day, and they're doing everything, all the stuff. So
nice. That's awesome. I can't wait. So when she does it, I'm going to do a little video of how she goes from a sucky shooter to she'll be like a raging commando when she's done with your class.
Yes. Well, she's going to go up to you and be like, Dad, you're doing it wrong. You need to do it like this, this, and this.
She does that now.
Oh, well, it's going to get worse, probably. She's going to be like
20. She knows everything. No, I love her to death. She's the most incredible kid. I'm so lucky to have her in my life. I love her.
Yeah, that's awesome.
I'm legally bound to say that 5 times a day. No, I'm kidding. She's awesome. Right. Well, thank you so much, Brickell, for coming on. Man, I can't believe you did your live and then came on and did this one. It was really cool to have you.
Yeah.
maybe in a couple weeks or months or after that class, maybe you come on again, and then we'll have my daughter on too, because she wants to come on and tell everyone how cool she is.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. I think that'd be a lot of fun. We should do it.
Yeah. Oh, and look at that. Jeff W. with a $9.99 super sticker. Thanks, buddy. I appreciate it. Again, all the money I get goes right back into the channel. I really, really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. Did you want to tell anybody before we go? Anything?
Yeah, if you guys want to support me, then just go to my channel, American Gunchic, and hit that subscribe button. Follow me on Instagram also. And then I'm also on Facebook, so you can go, it's all American Gunchic on all those platforms. I also have a Patreon, so go to patreon.com/AmericanGunchic. It's only $1 a month, and I upload daily videos, pretty much just ranting or talking or whatever I feel like putting up. And we give out swag every couple months, all kinds of cool t-shirts, all kinds of cool stuff. We do auctions cool. and giveaways.
I thought about doing one of those too, like a join button, because I have all this random stuff I edit out of my videos. It's lunacy, but I think it's funny. A lot of outtakes.
Yeah. Oh, Patreon? You don't have a Patreon right now?
Mm-mm.
You should make one. Patreon's good because, you know, people can donate that money, and then you take all that money and put it back into your channel, and then it continues to help grow that channel and what you're trying to do and all that stuff.
Yeah, it kills me that YouTube takes such a huge cut of all this stuff, man. It's kind of a bummer.
Yeah, Patreon doesn't take anything from you.
Nice. I'll have to do it. Again, American Gunchic, her link is in the chat. Please click it and subscribe to her channel. She'd greatly appreciate it. And if you're not a subscriber of mine, please click and subscribe to my channel. I'd always appreciate it. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate you. Till next time.
Thank you, guys.